Hi everyone, glad to see you again. Today we have something informative lined up for you. If you like my video, don't forget to share and subscribe, and for more tech insights. Stay safe online, cyber defense. Before we dive into the wild world of Wi-Fi hacking, let's get one thing straight. This information is for educational purposes only. We're here to learn how to protect ourselves, not to turn into cybercrims. Think of it like learning about a first aid kit. You hope you never have to use it, but it's good to know what to do, just in case. Knowing how hackers operate can help us build stronger defenses and keep our digital lives safe and sound. So, let's get cracking and learn how to keep those Wi-Fi connections secure. Remember, a little knowledge goes a long way in the fight against cybercrime. By the end of this, you'll be a Wi-Fi security whiz, ready to outsmart any dodgy characters lurking online. Remember when the internet used to be all dial-up modems? Those screeching sounds as it connected? And waiting for what felt like an eternity just to download a single song. It was a test of patience. Yeah, me too. Those were simpler times, weren't they? No Wi-Fi, no high-speed internet, just pure, unadulterated patience. These days, we're all about that sweet, sweet Wi-Fi. It's everywhere. From cafes to public parks, we're always connected. But with great convenience comes great responsibility. We need to be vigilant about our online safety. Unfortunately, some baddies out there want to exploit those Wi-Fi waves for their own gain. They lurk in the shadows, waiting for an opportunity. Wi-Fi hacking is a real thing, and it's becoming more common. Hackers are getting smarter, more sophisticated, and they're always finding new ways to sneak into unsuspecting people's networks. It's a constant game of cat and mouse. But don't worry, we're not here to scare you. We're here to help you stay one step ahead. We're here to arm you with the knowledge you need to fight back. Knowledge is power, after all. So what exactly is Wi-Fi hacking? How do these cybercriminals break into our networks? Well, it's basically like someone breaking into your house, but instead of bricks and mortar, they're breaking through your digital walls. They can bypass your security measures, infiltrate your network, and cause all sorts of trouble. They can steal your personal information, like passwords and bank details, spy on your online activity, tracking every website you visit, and even use your connection to do dodgy things online. Not cool, right? It can slow down your internet and put you at risk. But don't worry, there are ways to protect yourself. Setting up a strong password, using a VPN, and staying informed are key steps. Stay safe, stay secure, and enjoy the convenience of Wi-Fi without the worry. Now let's dive into the world of cyber intrusions and explore how these sneaky hackers actually get into your Wi-Fi network. One common method they use is through something called password cracking. This involves using sophisticated software to guess your password. Remember that long, complicated password you set up for your Wi-Fi? You might think it's secure, but hackers have ways of guessing it. They use special software that tries different combinations of letters, numbers, and symbols until they crack the code. This process can be surprisingly quick if your password isn't strong enough. This technique, known as a brute force attack, can be relentless. The software runs through millions of possible combinations, tirelessly working to find the right one. Another sneaky tactic is called war driving. This involves hackers driving around with devices that can detect and connect to unsecured Wi-Fi networks. No, it doesn't involve driving around in your dressing gown, although that does sound comfy. Instead, they use specialized equipment to find vulnerable networks. War driving is when hackers drive around with devices that can detect and connect to unsecured Wi-Fi networks. They can easily access your network if it's not properly secured. So if you haven't protected your Wi-Fi, you might as well be leaving your front door wide open. It's an open invitation for anyone to come in and take what they want. Hackers can also use something called social engineering to trick you into giving them access to your network. This involves manipulating you into divulging confidential information. They might send you a phishing email that looks like it's from your internet provider, asking you to click on a link and update your password. But don't be fooled. These emails can be very convincing. These links are often fake and designed to steal your information. Once you enter your credentials, hackers can gain access to your network and personal data. Always be wary of suspicious emails and websites. If something feels off, trust your instincts and double-check before clicking any links or providing any information. Let's face it, sometimes we're our own worst enemies when it comes to Wi-Fi security. We've all been guilty of using easy-to-guess passwords like password 123 or our pet's name. And how many of us are still using the same old router we got years ago? Here's the thing, those default passwords that come with your router, hackers know them too. And those old routers, they might not have the latest security updates, making them easy targets for cyber attacks. So, what can we do? First things first, ditch those weak passwords. Use a combination of upper and lowercase letters, numbers and symbols. And don't even think about using the same password for multiple accounts. It's also a good idea to change your password regularly, just to be safe. Red flags, signs. Your Wi-Fi is compromised. Now let's say a hacker has managed to sneak onto your Wi-Fi network. How would you even know? Well, there are a few telltale signs that something's not quite right. One obvious sign is if your internet speed suddenly slows to a crawl. Hackers can hog your bandwidth, leaving you with a laggy and frustrating online experience. Another red flag is if you notice any unusual activity on your network. Are there any devices connected that you don't recognize? Are there any strange lights blinking on your router? These could be signs that someone else is piggybacking on your connection. If you're really concerned, you can check your router's log files. This is basically a record of all the devices that have connected to your network. If you see anything suspicious, it's time to take action. The fallout. What happens when you're hacked? Okay, so the worst has happened and your Wi-Fi has been compromised. What now? Well, the consequences can be pretty nasty. Hackers can steal your personal information, like your banking details, credit card numbers, and even your social security number. They can then use this information to steal your identity, drain your bank accounts, or even open credit cards in your name. But it's not just about financial loss. Hackers can also use your compromised Wi-Fi to spy on your online activity. They can see everything you do online, from the websites you visit to the messages you send. This can be a huge invasion of privacy and can put you at risk of blackmail or extortion. In some cases, hackers can even use your compromised Wi-Fi to carry out illegal activities. They can use your connection to download illegal content, launch cyber attacks, or even distribute malware. And guess what? If they're using your connection, you could be held responsible. The aftermath of a hack can be overwhelming. You might spend hours on the phone with banks and credit card companies trying to secure your accounts and prove your identity. You may need to fill out numerous forms and affidavits. It's crucial to install robust antivirus software and update all your passwords immediately. Consider enrolling in a credit monitoring service to keep an eye on any suspicious activity. In severe cases, you might even need to involve law enforcement to track down the perpetrators. While the road to recovery can be long, taking these steps can help you regain control and protect yourself in the future. Protecting your turf Wi-Fi security essentials. Alright, enough with the scary stuff. Let's talk about how to protect ourselves from these Wi-Fi villains. First and foremost, you need a strong, unique password for your Wi-Fi network. I know we've been over this. But seriously, it's the easiest and most effective way to deter hackers. Next up, make sure your router's firmware is up to date. Firmware is like the operating system for your router, and updates often include important security patches. Most routers have an option to automatically update the firmware, so make sure that's turned on. Another important step is to enable WPA2 or WPA3 encryption on your router. Encryption scrambles the data that's transmitted over your Wi-Fi network, making it much harder for hackers to intercept and read. Staying ahead. Advanced security measures. If you want to take your Wi-Fi security to the next level, there are a few more advanced measures you can take. One option is to create a guest network for visitors. This keeps your main network separate and protects your devices from any potential threats that guests might bring with them. You can also consider using a virtual private network or VPN. A VPN encrypts all of your internet traffic, even when you're connected to public Wi-Fi, making it much harder for hackers to snoop on your online activity. Finally, if you're really serious about security, you can invest in a network security system. These systems often include features like firewalls, intrusion detection, and malware protection, providing an extra layer of defense for your home network. Stay safe out there. So there you have it, folks. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the sneaky tactics hackers use to the devastating consequences of a Wi-Fi breach. But most importantly, we've learned how to protect ourselves and keep our digital lives safe and sound. Remember, Wi-Fi security is not a one-time thing. It's an ongoing process that requires vigilance and common sense. By following the tips we've discussed today, you can significantly reduce your risk of becoming a victim of Wi-Fi hacking. So go forth and browse with confidence. And if you ever have any doubts about the security of a Wi-Fi network, it's always best to err on the side of caution and find a more secure connection. Thanks for watching and learning with us. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. We value your feedback. Cyber defense